In today's video, we're going to show you how you can trust God in difficult times. When your life feels small, you can regain hope that He has plans for a great future for you.
Whatever has caused your life to feel difficult, we are here to tell you, friend, your story is not over. Your life is not small, and you don't have to live it that way any longer.
When we were 25 years old, life threw us a curveball. We were trying to expand our family of 2 and get pregnant, but no matter what we tried, it didn't work.
What ensued next was a label. Infertility. It felt like a black mark that we just wore on our chest for all to see all the time, screaming that we are different and that there is something wrong with us. It's easy for circumstances like that to just become your obsession and your identity. It's all consuming and it just takes over your thoughts, and life can feel so dark. I remember our lives felt so small and I didn't have the language to put with it. And then one day I was in prayer and writing in my journal, and I wrote out the words, "No small life." Meaning our lives were not small just because they didn't look like everyone else's.
See, what we found when life gets difficult or it doesn't go as planned, there's 3 major hurdles that we need to overcome and 3 ways to jump over those hurdles. The first hurdle is that life just feels so uncertain.
Yes.
The future feels uncertain. Is this my new normal? Is my life ever going to feel normal again? How's this all going to play out? What does the future look like? The second is life feels lonely.
Oh, yeah.
We start to isolate ourselves. And the reason life feels so lonely is because we're looking around and life hasn't stopped moving forward for anyone else.
Right.
We're the ones being affected at the time by pain or trauma or an unforeseen circumstance, but their lives just keep moving forward. So it's easy to say, no one cares,
Nobody
no one's
understands.
calling,
Right.
no one's thinking about me. And the last hurdle is that life feels unfulfilling.
Yeah.
What's my purpose now? What am I supposed to do? And what happens is we try to clamp down on control, and we try to control the things that are outside of our control, and life just feels so hard and purposeless.
So what do? Well, before we get there, if you have not yet subscribed to No Small Life, please do so. Give this video a like and share this video on your social media pages, because I guarantee it's going to help somebody else too.
So when life feels uncertain, the first thing we got to do is we got to rebuild our faith in God.
Yes.
Because what's happened is our circumstances has caused our faith to get rocked a little bit. We love to stand on God's word and on His truth and on His promises, and we worship and we sing these lyrics like, "You're my healer, you're more than enough for me." And then all of a sudden, unforeseen life circumstances happen, and we don't know who we are anymore.
And you start questioning God's goodness.
So it's in these moments we've got to really buckle down on who God is, regardless of our circumstance. That He's good because He put breath in our lungs. That He's good because He gave us Christ. That He's good because someday we get to spend eternity in heaven with Him. And when we can reconcile that, and when we can tell Him how we feel, God, I'm upset right now. I don't believe your promises are for me right now. Instead of shoving it down, we get real with Him. It means grieving the loss of a dream.
Yes.
Sometimes you have a dream in your heart. My kids are going to grow up and be this, and they're not that.
Right.
Or my life is going to go a certain way. We're going to expand our family. We're going to buy a new house. We're going to get a new job. We're going to make an X amount of money. We're going to have a ministry. We're going to do something that matters, and it doesn't happen. And we've got to grieve that loss of a dream.
It means holding on to scriptures and speaking them out loud until you begin to believe them again. Not because you're trying to change God or get a chokehold on this thing, but because you're trying to renew who God is to you again and believe it in your heart and in your soul and trust that He's good. And they can be scriptures like this. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Jeremiah 29:11-12. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. I know life can feel really hopeless right now, but friend, you have every reason to hope because God is still good and he is still crazy about you. We live in a jacked up world, Chris.
Right.
We do. A lot of messed up things happen. Even God's own son experienced pain when he was here on this earth.
That's so true. And God had to watch his son go through pain. People turning on him, people beating him, people putting him to death. He watched this and he can identify with the pain that we are going through, and he's right there going through it with us. So that's the first thing. When life feels uncertain, we start to declare God's word and trust him again and build our faith in him again.
The second hurdle is that when life feels lonely, we need to intentionally invest and work on our marriage and our relationships. It is so easy when you're walking through pain to feel like nobody understands me and to really take on this victim mentality. But the truth is, I promise you, people care. They just don't know how to help you right now.
So one thing people love to say when you're going through something hard is, if you need anything, let me know.
Right.
And what do? We say, oh no,
I'm good.
we don't need anything. But the truth is, think about what you do need and let the people close to you help you with some of those needs. You know, I could really use someone to just cook dinner for me tonight. Order dinner in for me. I could use a gift card. I could use someone to just help me straighten my house.
Sure.
I could use someone to just get out of the house with me for a few minutes and go to coffee or go to a movie or go grocery shopping with me just to get me outside of myself. Because we like to isolate. We like to go in. We like to push people away. When we're depressed, when we're anxious, when we're sad, we get away from people.
Right.
We stay in our dark houses, in our dark rooms, and we watch TV and we just stay in bed. And instead, what we need to do is force ourselves to get out with our people
Re-engage.
who love us and are there for us. Galatians 6:2 says, carry each other's burdens. In this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. One of the laws of Christ is love your neighbor as yourself. So when you're going through something hard and you're there, someone's there for you and you allow them to be there for you, or you're there for them, you're literally fulfilling what Christ called us all to do.
If you're married or you have kids, it is so important to grieve together. Now, it might look different how you grieve, but grieving together, it bonds you. And what it does is it helps you intentionally invest in the family that you do have instead of just mourning what you thought was going to be. You know, when we couldn't have kids, we said, we're just going to invest in our relationship. We're just going to have a great marriage. That's actually the thing that led us to become relationship coaches and marriage coaches, because we got so passionate about, hey, we have each other. We have a family, even though it looks different. Let's invest deeply into the family that we do have.
The third hurdle is that life feels unfulfilling. But there's two ways to jump over this hurdle. And one, it's to control what we can control, let go of what we can't. And two, it's to turn our pain into purpose. So often in life, we clamp down and try to control the things that are outside of our control. We can't control what curveballs life throws our way, but we desperately try. However, there's so many things within our control that we tend to let go. Things like health and fitness and our style and our homes and just having a plan for our money or the future. Those are the things that are within our control, and those are the things we can excel at in the seasons where we lack control on the other things. When we control the things that we can control, we get these small wins in life and we feel like we're making progress and our life feels like it has more purpose and meaning.
So good. Another way you can control what you can control is by turning your pain into purpose. See, we believe that God does not cause pain, but friend, he never, ever wastes our pain. And I don't know about you, but when I'm walking through something hard, I want to talk to somebody who's also walked through that hard thing, but is thriving. They
Right.
didn't just get through it and now their life is awful, but like they have hope. They have life. They have purpose. What did they do, right? I want to talk to that person. And see, friend, if your life was a book, you're in a really hard chapter right now, but your story isn't over. And someone out there needs this chapter of your life. They need your story. It's going to give them so much hope. We have a dear friend of ours who lost her son as a toddler, lost her son to a tragic heart condition. And recently she had the opportunity to go to a funeral for another friend who had also lost their child. And let me tell you, that would have been really easy for her to avoid, right? It would have been so much easier for her to not even go there. But she showed up for that person. And when she did, that other mom, man, she grabbed hold of her. She held her. She would not let her go because she saw in her hope for a future. You made it. You survived. You're okay. What did you do? And just that hope of another person, it is life-changing.
When you walk through cancer or get a cancer diagnosis, you want to talk to someone
Yes.
who's also gotten that diagnosis, knows what it feels like to hear those words, and then has come out the other side.
Yeah.
When you get a bad medical report like infertility, we didn't want to talk to people or be encouraged by people who had 4 kids, right? We wanted to be encouraged by someone who had walked through this like we did. You know, when you walk through something specific, it helps to talk to someone who's walked through that specific thing, like Megan said, has gotten through it, and now we call them an expert in it.
Yes.
And even though you might not feel like an expert, even though we don't feel like we're experts at infertility because the pain is still there,
Right.
it's still real
Sure.
at times in our lives,
Right.
but we know how to walk through it
Yes.
and get through the valley and get to the place where there's hope for a bright future again. And that's what you can be for someone else if you trust God in the difficult time and turn your pain into purpose. So if you're going through a difficult time right now, which one of these 3 solutions do you think you need the most?
Right now, do you need to just rebuild your faith and find that healing in God? Do you need to rebuild the relationships in your life? Maybe you're at the point that you want to control what you can control and begin to turn your pain into purpose. Which one is it, friend? Let us know in the comments.
And if you've watched this video to this point, we believe that you're really wanting to trust God in this difficult season. And if you need a little bit more, we've created a 3-part mini course called How to Kill a Spider.
Yeah.
And it's based on getting to the lies that we're believing about ourselves, about God,
About our
and how
circumstances.
about our circumstances and how to overcome those lies and get free
Yes.
so we can move forward quicker. We'll put a link below to that course if you want to get started on that.
And again, friend, if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. We want to have you on this journey with us. We have a lot more encouragement and practical steps coming your way. And if you would, please consider sharing this on your social media pages because we truly believe this can offer hope and practical steps to a whole lot of people.
So have a great day, everybody. And remember, your life is not small.
Bye, guys. And psst, if you're wondering, what in the world does this say?
La vita al massimo.
La
is an-
vita al massimo.
It's an Italian phrase.
We'll tell you next week. Tune in.
Or
Or
leave a comment below and ask us.
guesses.
Guess. Yes.
Yes. That's what we want them to do.
Yes.
Guess, people.